Gorgeous, I whispered when the alien princess removed her helmet and approached me. The planet stretched before him, a harsh world of jagged cliffs, swirling purple skies, and strange winds that whistled through the rocky canyons. He took a deep breath and looked at the barren landscape. The air was thin, but breathable thanks to their portable filters. His heart beat fast with excitement and fear. This planet had never been explored by humans before. Beside him, Leela Summers checked the instruments on her wrist console. She was calm, professional, but Ethan could see the nervous tension in her eyes. "We need to be careful," she said. "The readings show life forms, but they're unusual. Nothing in the database matches them. This could get dangerous." Ethan nodded. "I know, but that's why we're here, to study them, to learn." He paused and looked at the horizon. Strange purple clouds rolled across the sky. The jagged cliffs glinted like crystal in the dim light of the planet's twin suns. "It's beautiful," he whispered. They began their slow trek through the rocky terrain, scanning for signs of the alien life forms. Every step was cautious. The ground beneath them was uneven and sharp. Strange plants with glowing leaves and long, thin stalks swayed in the wind, but no animals were visible. Ethan could feel the silence pressing down on him. It was not like Earth. The air was still but alive in a strange way. Hours passed, and the two explorers moved carefully along the cliffs. Then, without warning, a flash of movement caught Ethan's eye. A group of alien figures appeared on a ledge above them. They were humanoid but taller, leaner, and covered in sleek armor. Their helmets were shiny and smooth, reflecting the dim light of the twin suns. Ethan froze. Leela grabbed his arm. "They've seen us," she whispered. The aliens made no hostile move, but their posture was rigid, alert. They held strange weapons that glowed faintly. Ethan could feel his heart racing. He wanted to step forward to speak, but he knew it could be dangerous. Then the lead alien raised a hand. Ethan and Leela froze. A voice, distorted by the helmet's speaker, came out in a language neither of them understood. But the tone was not angry. It was cautious, almost curious. Ethan realized these aliens were intelligent. They were observing, not attacking. Leela whispered, "We need to retreat slowly. Show we are not a threat." Ethan nodded. He took a slow step backward. The aliens mirrored their movement. Then suddenly a loud noise echoed through the canyon. Rocks tumbled from the cliff above. One of the aliens stumbled, and another drew its weapon in alarm. From the shadowed cliffs, a group of hostile creatures emerged. They were unlike the armored aliens. Their skin was dark and rough, and their eyes glowed red. They hissed and charged toward the Velari patrol. Ethan's mind raced. He had to do something. The lead alien raised a hand and shouted a series of commands. The other armored aliens moved swiftly, forming a line between the attackers and Ethan and Leela. Weapons glowed and fired, stunning the creatures without killing them. Ethan could see the precision and discipline in their movements. These aliens were soldiers. But in the chaos, Leela was pulled toward the rocks by a sudden slide. Ethan ran to help her, but another creature lunged at him. He barely dodged it. Heart-pounding, he realized they were surrounded. The Velari soldiers fought bravely, but there were too many attackers. Then, out of the corner of his eye, Ethan saw a figure move differently. Faster, more fluid. A single alien had stepped out of the line and moved toward him. She was smaller than the others, elegant, but her presence was commanding. She raised her hand, and the attackers froze as if obeying her. Ethan's breath caught. She removed her helmet. The moment he saw her face, he whispered, "Gorgeous." Her skin glowed softly in the fading light. Her eyes were large and bright, with colors he had never seen. Her hair shimmered like liquid silver. She moved toward him carefully, without any hint of aggression. Ethan could feel the tension in his body easing. The Velari soldiers fell back, forming a protective circle around her. She reached out a hand. Ethan hesitated, then took it. The touch was gentle but firm. Warmth spread through him. She nodded once, signaling that he was safe. "Follow me," she said in English, her voice melodic but firm. Ethan realized she could speak his language. He glanced at Leela, who was staring in shock. "Go, now," the princess urged. Leela nodded and ran toward safety, while Ethan followed the alien princess into a narrow canyon path. The hostile creatures tried to follow, but the princess raised her hand again, and a wave of energy knocked them back. They moved quickly through the twisting canyon, the princess leading with precision. Ethan could see she knew the terrain perfectly. "Who are you?" he asked, panting. "I am Princess Arya," she replied. "You are far from home, human," Ethan swallowed. "Ethan Parker." I'm an explorer. This planet, we didn't know anyone lived here. Arya glanced at him, her expression unreadable. Few humans come here, it is dangerous. You are lucky I found you when I did. They reached a hidden cave entrance. Arya waved her hand, and a holographic panel slid open. She gestured for Ethan to enter. Inside, the cave was warm and softly lit with glowing crystals embedded in the walls. The Valeri soldiers stood at attention, watching him carefully. Arya removed her helmet completely now, revealing her full face. Ethan could hardly look away. Her eyes shone with intelligence and curiosity. "You must rest," she said. "You are injured and tired from the attack." Ethan noticed scratches and bruises he had ignored in the chaos. Leela had warned him, but adrenaline had kept him going. Now exhaustion hit him. He nodded, grateful. "Thank you," he said softly. Arya led him to a resting area and handed him a small device. It projected a soft, warm light. "This will heal minor injuries. You must be careful. Our world is not like yours." Ethan watched as the light moved over his skin. The pain eased and his energy returned. He was amazed. "This is incredible," he whispered. "How does it work?" Arya smiled faintly. "We are a scientific people. Our knowledge is old and precise. We use it to protect life, not destroy it." Ethan felt a mix of awe and relief. He had studied aliens in books and reports, but nothing prepared him for meeting one face to face, especially one as beautiful, intelligent, and kind as Arya. He looked around the cave. Crystals glowed softly, casting rainbow-colored reflections on the walls. The Valeri soldiers watched silently, respectful but wary. Ethan realized that trust would not come easily here, but Arya had already shown him kindness. "I should find Leela," he said. "She's still out there," Arya nodded. "You will be reunited, but for now you must rest. Tomorrow you will see more of our city. You will learn about our people." Ethan nodded, feeling both excitement and fear. He lay down, letting the warmth of the healing light soothe his body. As he closed his eyes, he thought about the day's events. He had never imagined being on another planet, meeting an alien princess, and surviving an attack by dangerous creatures. Yet here he was, alive and not alone. Arya sat nearby, her eyes glowing softly in the dim light. She watched him with curiosity. Humans were unpredictable, she thought, but there was something special about this one, brave, intelligent, and kind. Perhaps in time he could become more than just an explorer here. Outside the cave, the wind howled through the jagged cliffs, carrying with it the scent of alien flora. The planet seemed alive, watching, waiting. For Ethan, this was only the beginning. He drifted into a light sleep, dreaming of strange skies, glowing forests, and the silver-haired princess who had saved him. Tomorrow he would learn more about this world, and about her. Ethan woke to soft, glowing light filling the cave. The crystals embedded in the walls cast gentle colors across the floor. He stretched, feeling strong and rested. The healing light from last night had done its work, and the scratches and bruises on his arms and legs had almost disappeared. For the first time since arriving, he felt hope. Princess Arya was sitting near the entrance, watching the glowing crystals with calm eyes. She looked up when she noticed him moving. "You slept well," she said, her voice quiet but full of warmth. "The healing light works slowly while you sleep. Your body needed it." Ethan sat up, rubbing his temples. I didn't expect anything like this. Your people, you have technology and knowledge beyond anything I imagined." Arya nodded. "We do not use it for war, only for protection and learning. We value life above all else. That is why we are cautious of strangers." Ethan looked around at the soldiers standing silently in the cave. "You must be very careful. If humans knew about this place, it could be dangerous for you." Arya's eyes darkened slightly. "Humans are unpredictable. Some seek knowledge, some seek power. That is why we must test you, Ethan Parker." Ethan's heart beat faster. "Test me?" Arya smiled faintly. "To see if you are truly here with respect, not to harm. Your actions yesterday, you helped Leela and yourself survive. That shows courage, but courage alone is not enough to earn our trust." Ethan nodded, understanding her meaning. "I will do whatever you ask. I want to learn about your world. I want to understand your people." Arya studied him for a moment, then gestured for him to follow her. They left the cave and climbed a narrow path carved into the side of the cliff. The air was fresh, carrying scents of alien plants and minerals. The sky above was a deep violet with streaks of gold and pink from the twin suns. As they climbed, Arya spoke. "The Valeri live in harmony with this planet. Our cities are built in the cliffs and crystals, so we do not harm the natural world. Every structure is designed to exist with the land, not destroy it. Ethan looked at the sparkling towers rising from the cliffs ahead. They glowed softly, like they were alive. Bridges of light connected the towers, and flying vehicles moved silently between them. "It's incredible," he whispered. "I've never seen anything like this. How long have your people lived here?" Arya smiled. "Thousands of your years. We learn from the planet, not against it. That is how we survive." They reached a platform that overlooked the city. Ethan could see more soldiers and citizens moving below, all humanoid but glowing faintly, with markings across their skin that shimmered in different colors. "You are beautiful," he said softly, unable to help himself. Arya's eyes glimmered. "Beauty is not the most important thing, human. Knowledge, courage, and respect are more valuable, but thank you." Ethan felt a warmth in his chest. He knew she was more than just beautiful. There was a wisdom in her eyes, a kindness that he had not expected from someone so powerful. She led him down a bridge into the heart of the city. Everywhere he looked, humans would have called it magical. The streets were smooth and glowing, lined with alien plants and flowers. Citizens moved gracefully, some speaking to devices that floated beside them, others studying crystal formations. "Do all Velari have these markings?" Ethan asked, pointing to the glowing patterns on the citizens' skin. Arya nodded. "The markings are part of our being. They show our family, our knowledge, and our role in society. They glow more brightly as we learn and grow. Humans do not have such marks, but your actions can show your character in other ways." Ethan smiled. "I hope my actions will be enough." They reached a large building carved from a single massive crystal. The walls shimmered with light, and inside, rows of transparent panels displayed images of stars, planets, and alien creatures. Arya led him to a central chamber. "This is our learning hall," she explained. "We study life across the universe, understand other species, and record knowledge for future generations. You will see much here that is new to you." Ethan walked slowly, absorbing everything. Panels floated in the air, showing alien plants, animals, and even human records from other explorers who had visited distant worlds. His heart raced. He had spent his life studying alien life, but this was beyond anything he had imagined. Arya placed a hand on a panel showing a planet with strange blue forests. "We have recorded many worlds, but few humans come to study us. You are rare, and that makes your choices more important. You must understand our ways if you wish to continue." Ethan nodded. "I understand. I want to learn and I want to help if I can. I don't want to cause harm." Arya studied him for a long moment. "Your words are good, but actions speak louder. You will face tests. Some will be simple, some difficult. You must prove your courage, your intelligence, and your respect for life." Ethan took a deep breath. "I will do it, I promise." Arya's lips curved into a small smile. "Very well, tomorrow we will begin. For now, you should rest and eat. Humans require nourishment that is different from ours." She led him to a small chamber with soft, glowing bedding and a table filled with food. Ethan looked at the strange fruits and liquids, unsure if he could eat them. "Will this hurt me?" he asked. Arya shook her head. "No. It is safe. Our food nourishes the body gently, without harm." Ethan ate cautiously. The flavors were unlike anything he had experienced on Earth, sweet and tangy with a faint, sparkling sensation. He smiled. "It's amazing. I can get used to this." After eating, Arya left him to rest. Ethan lay down on the soft bed and thought about the day. He had survived an alien attack, met a princess, and been welcomed into a completely new world. The experience was overwhelming, but he felt alive in a way he never had before. As he drifted toward sleep, he thought of Leela. She was probably still searching for him. He hoped she was safe. He also thought of the Velari soldiers and the other citizens he had glimpsed. Could humans and Velari truly understand each other? Could trust grow between two very different species? The next morning, Ethan woke to a soft knock at the door. Arya entered, her silver hair catching the light. "It is time," she said. "Come with me. Today you will see more of our city and meet our council. They will judge your actions and decide if you are worthy of learning more." Ethan rose, feeling nervous but ready. "I am ready," he said. They walked through the streets of the city. Citizens looked at Ethan curiously but did not approach. The Velari moved with grace, acknowledging him with small nods. Ethan felt both nervous and proud. He was an outsider, but he was being accepted, slowly. They reached a grand plaza where a large crystal structure rose above them. Inside, a group of Velari elders sat in a circle, their markings glowing brightly. Arya led him forward. "This is Ethan Parker," she said. "He is human. He seeks knowledge and wishes to learn from us. I vouch for him, but the council will decide if he may stay." The elders looked at him silently. One of them, older than the others, spoke in a calm, melodic voice. "You are brave, human. You survived the dangers of our planet and did not harm our people, but bravery alone does not grant understanding. You must show respect, patience, and wisdom." Ethan nodded. "I understand. I will do my best." Another elder raised a hand. "You have seen only a small part of our world. Tomorrow you will explore the outer forests with Princess Arya. You will face challenges that test your mind and body. Only then will we know your true character." Ethan felt a mixture of fear and excitement. He had survived an attack, but he knew that the real tests were just beginning. He looked at Arya, who gave him a small, encouraging nod. Throughout the day, Arya showed him the city. They walked among the citizens, visited the learning hall, and observed the Velari training grounds. Ethan learned about their culture, their love for science, and their dedication to preserving life. He saw children learning with floating devices, soldiers training with precision, and citizens caring for alien creatures he could not yet name. By evening, Ethan felt both exhausted and exhilarated. He had seen wonders he had only dreamed of and met people who were different in ways he could hardly understand. Yet he felt a connection with Arya that went beyond words. She was patient, intelligent, and kind. She had saved his life and guided him through a world he could not have navigated alone. As they returned to the cave, Ethan asked quietly, "Why do you trust me? I am human. My people, some of them are not kind. Some would take your world if they could." Arya looked at him, her eyes serious. "Trust is not given lightly, but I saw your actions. You helped, not harmed. You risked yourself for others. That is how trust begins, Ethan Parker. Actions, not words, show who you truly are." Ethan felt a deep respect for her. He had met many leaders and scientists on Earth, but none like Arya. She was a princess, a warrior, and a scholar, yet she treated him with fairness and patience. That night, as Ethan rested again under the soft glow of the crystals, he thought about the coming challenges. Tomorrow, he would explore the forests, face unknown dangers, and continue earning the trust of the Velari people. But he also thought about Arya. He knew that humans and Velari could learn from each other. He also knew that some bond had begun between him and the princess, one that might grow stronger as they faced the dangers of this strange, beautiful world together. Ethan closed his eyes, filled with determination. He had survived so far, but the real journey was only beginning. Ethan woke before sunrise. The soft glow of the crystals in the cave lit the room like the early morning stars. He stretched and checked himself for any injuries, but he felt stronger than ever. The healing light had worked well, and he was ready for whatever the day would bring. Princess Arya was already waiting for him. She had removed her helmet again, and her silver hair caught the soft glow of the crystals. "Today, you will explore the outer forests," she said. "You will see our world more clearly and face challenges that will test your courage and judgment." Ethan nodded. "I am ready. I want to learn everything I can." Arya led him out of the cave. The twin suns were just rising, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. The cliffs and jagged rocks shimmered with the colors of the morning. Ethan felt a thrill run through him. Every moment on this planet was new, strange, and exciting. They moved carefully down a narrow path that led to the edge of the city. The citizens of the Velari walked around them, some glancing curiously at Ethan. He realized that he was still an outsider, but Arya's presence gave him protection. Wherever she went, people listened and respected her. The forests ahead were dense with glowing plants and trees that seemed to hum softly. The air smelled sweet, like flowers mixed with minerals. Strange creatures moved in the shadows, watching them with curious eyes. Arya paused at the edge of the forest. "Stay close," she said. "The outer forests are home to many creatures. Most are harmless, but some can be dangerous. You must watch and think carefully about every step." Ethan nodded. "I will, don't worry." They entered the forest slowly. Ethan marveled at the glowing flora and unusual animals. Some creatures had long, delicate limbs and eyes that shined like gemstones. Others moved quickly, almost like flashes of light, and disappeared before he could see them clearly. "This planet is alive in ways I've never imagined," Ethan whispered. "It's like the whole forest is watching us." Arya smiled faintly. "It is. The Velari learn from the planet. Every plant, every creature has a role. To survive here, we must understand and respect all life." They walked for hours, moving deeper into the forest. Arya explained the purpose of the plants and the habits of the creatures. Ethan listened carefully, taking notes in his small tablet. He realized how much he had to learn. On Earth, humans often took life for granted, but here life was precious, and every action had consequences. Suddenly, Arya stopped. She raised her hand and pointed to a clearing ahead. "Wait," she whispered. "Something is coming." Ethan squinted. Through the glowing trees, he saw movement. A group of strange alien creatures emerged, their skin dark and jagged, their eyes glowing red. They moved quickly and quietly, surrounding the clearing. Ethan's heart raced. These were the same creatures that had attacked the Velari city before. Arya's eyes narrowed. "These are invaders," she said. "They seek to harm our people and take our knowledge. We must be careful." Ethan swallowed. "What do we do?" Arya studied the creatures. "We observe first, then we act. Follow my lead." She stepped forward with grace and confidence. Ethan followed closely. The creatures noticed them and hissed, baring sharp teeth. Ethan's hands shook slightly, but he remembered Arya's words about courage. He stood tall. Arya raised her hand. A wave of energy flowed from her, and the creatures froze for a moment. Then they scattered, retreating into the trees. Ethan watched in awe. That was amazing," he said. Arya turned to him. "It is not enough to be brave, you must also think. Observe the enemy, understand their movements, and act wisely. Courage without thought can be dangerous." Ethan nodded. He understood now that survival was not just about strength or luck. It was about intelligence, patience, and careful action. They continued through the forest. Ethan noticed a small creature trapped under a fallen branch. Its legs were weak and it struggled to breathe. He bent down. "I can help," he whispered. Arya watched silently. Ethan lifted the branch carefully, using his strength and balance. The creature limped away, looking back at him as if in thanks. Arya's eyes softened. "You understand the first lesson," she said. "Respect for life. You acted without thinking of reward. That is good." Ethan smiled, feeling proud. He had done something meaningful. As they moved deeper, the forest grew darker. Strange sounds echoed through the trees. Ethan could feel the tension in the air. Arya stopped suddenly and crouched low. She gestured for him to do the same. From the shadows, a large creature leapt toward them. It had scales that reflected the faint light and claws sharp enough to tear through metal. Ethan froze, but Arya moved swiftly. She raised her hand, and a beam of energy shot from her palm, striking the creature and sending it crashing to the ground. Ethan's heart pounded. "You're incredible," he whispered. Arya shook her head. "Do not admire me, learn from this. You must be ready to act when danger comes, and you must remain calm. Fear will make you weak." Ethan nodded, swallowing his fear. He felt the adrenaline coursing through him. He realized that this planet was more dangerous than he had imagined. But with Arya's guidance, he felt capable. They moved on, reaching a small river that glowed faintly in the dark forest. The water was clear, and strange fish with shining fins swam beneath the surface. Arya gestured for Ethan to drink. "The water here nourishes the body and mind. Humans can drink it safely in small amounts." Ethan bent down and drank. The water was cool and refreshing, filling him with energy. He felt connected to the planet in a way he could not explain. They rested by the river, watching the glowing creatures of the forest. Arya explained the balance of life on this planet, how every predator and prey had a role, and how the Velari protected this balance with care and knowledge. Ethan listened, fascinated. He realized how humans often destroyed life without thinking. Here, life was precious and respected. He felt proud to be learning from Arya and her people. As the sun began to set, painting the forest in shades of pink and gold, Arya turned to him. "You have done well today," she said. "But tomorrow you will face a greater challenge. The invaders may return, and you must be ready to protect not only yourself but others. Courage, intelligence, and respect will be tested." Ethan nodded. "I understand. I will do my best." They began the journey back to the city. The forest seemed quieter now, but Ethan could feel the tension lingering. Danger was always near, but he felt more confident. He had faced threats, saved a creature, and learned from Arya. When they returned to the city, the Velari soldiers greeted them. Arya spoke briefly with the council, reporting their observations. Ethan stood quietly, listening. He could feel their respect growing, even though he was still a human outsider. Arya turned to him. "You are learning quickly. That is good. But remember, understanding is not enough. You must act when needed. The coming days will test you more than today." Ethan felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He had seen the wonders of the Velari world, faced danger, and survived. But he knew the real tests were ahead. That evening, as he rested in the cave, he thought about the forest, the creatures, and the invaders. He realized that the Velari were not just strong, they were wise. Their strength came from knowledge, discipline, and respect for life. Humans could learn from them. He also thought about Arya. She was not just a princess or a warrior. She was a guide, a teacher, and a protector. He felt a connection growing between them, one that was more than friendship. He felt respect, admiration, and something he could not yet name. As he drifted off to sleep, he made a silent promise to himself. He would face the coming challenges. He would learn from the Velari, and he would do everything he could to prove that humans were worthy of trust. The forest outside whispered in the night, alive and mysterious. Ethan Parker knew that tomorrow would bring new dangers, new lessons, and new opportunities to grow. But for the first time, he felt ready. He closed his eyes, filled with determination. The journey had only begun, but he was no longer afraid. With courage, intelligence, and respect, he would face whatever the Velari world demanded, and he would not fail. Ethan woke to the sound of alarms echoing through the Crystal City. Red lights flashed softly along the walls and streets, signaling danger. His heart pounded as he jumped from the bed. Princess Arya was already standing near the entrance, her face calm but serious. "They are coming," she said. "The invaders have found our city. We must prepare." Ethan felt a surge of fear but also determination. He had trained with Arya, learned from her, and faced dangers in the forest. He could not run now. "What can I do?" he asked. "You will follow my instructions," Arya replied. "Use your knowledge and courage. We will fight together." The city's streets were already filled with Velari soldiers moving with precision. Ethan followed Arya to the training grounds, where more than 100 soldiers stood in formation. Their weapons glowed faintly, and their eyes were focused. Arya addressed them. "The invaders seek to harm us and take our knowledge. We will defend our people and our home. Humans fight with courage, and today one human stands with us. Ethan Parker will help guide our strategy." Ethan felt nervous but proud. He had not expected to lead or strategize in battle, but Arya's trust gave him confidence. "Listen carefully," she continued. "The invaders are many. They strike quickly and without caution. We must use the terrain and our knowledge of the city to protect ourselves. Ethan, you will help me direct our defenses." Ethan nodded, scanning the map of the city and its surrounding cliffs and forests. He could see possible attack points and areas where the invaders might be trapped. "We can use the narrow paths to slow them down," he suggested. "And the cliffs above can give us an advantage if we position the soldiers there." Arya nodded approvingly. "Good, that will be your first plan. Let us move." They took positions along the cliffs overlooking the plains outside the city. From this height, Ethan could see the invaders approaching. Their dark shapes moved in perfect formation, fast and silent. Ethan swallowed hard. There were more than he expected. Arya raised her hand, signaling the soldiers below. Beams of energy shot from their weapons, striking the invaders before they could reach the city. The first wave of attackers fell, stunned but alive. Ethan felt a thrill at the effectiveness of the defense, but he knew this was only the beginning. The invaders regrouped and charged again, this time from multiple directions. Ethan pointed to a narrow pass leading into the forest. "We can funnel them there," he shouted. "They won't be able to move freely. Use the terrain." Arya's eyes glimmered with approval. "Good thinking, human. Soldiers, follow his plan." The Velari moved with precision, blocking the paths and forcing the invaders into traps. Ethan watched as the battle unfolded. Beams of energy flashed through the air, and the invaders struggled to keep up. Yet they were relentless. Every time one group fell back, another moved forward. Arya moved beside Ethan, her silver hair catching the sunlight. "Stay focused," she said. "Do not let fear control you." Ethan nodded. He felt the fear, but he pushed it down. He had to think, to act, and to guide the soldiers. He shouted instructions, pointing to positions and directing energy fire. Slowly, the invaders began to fall back, confused and trapped by the clever defenses. Then a large creature broke through the lines. It was bigger than any Ethan had seen, with armored scales and glowing red eyes. It moved toward Arya, its claws ready to strike. Ethan froze for a moment, seeing her in danger. "Ethan!" Arya shouted. "Now!" he reacted instinctively. He grabbed a device from his belt and activated it. A beam of energy shot forward, striking the creature and slowing its attack. Arya moved quickly, using her own energy to strike the creature again, forcing it to retreat. Ethan's heart raced. "Are you okay?" he asked. Arya nodded, her eyes fierce. "Yes, but stay close. They will try again." The battle continued for hours. Ethan guided the soldiers, Arya fought alongside him, and the invaders kept coming in waves. The city shook from the attacks, but the Valyri held their ground. At one point, Ethan noticed a group of invaders moving toward the city gates. "They're trying to get inside," he shouted. Arya's eyes narrowed. "We cannot let them in. Follow me." They moved quickly through the streets, Ethan staying close behind her. The soldiers followed, creating a barrier to block the invaders. Ethan raised his device, striking the attackers with precise beams of energy. Arya moved with grace and speed, taking down enemies who tried to bypass them. Then Ethan saw a young Valyri child trapped near a building. The child was frozen in fear, unable to move. Without thinking, Ethan ran forward, lifting the child and shielding them from the attackers. Arya followed, taking down anyone who came too close. The child clung to Ethan, eyes wide with fear. "You're safe now," Ethan whispered. He felt a surge of protectiveness. This was not just a battle for strategy, it was a battle for life. Arya moved to the front again, her presence inspiring the soldiers. Ethan watched her and felt admiration mixed with awe. She was not just a princess, she was a warrior, a leader, and a protector of her people. Hours passed, and the invaders grew tired. Their attacks became less coordinated, slower. The Valyri pressed their advantage, pushing the enemies back toward the plains. Ethan guided the soldiers, making sure no one could sneak past. Finally, the last wave of invaders was driven off. The city was safe, though some damage had been done. Buildings were cracked and smoke rose from certain areas, but the people were alive. The Valyri cheered, but Ethan noticed the exhaustion in their eyes. Arya turned to him. "You have done well, human. Your courage and quick thinking helped save many lives today." Ethan shook his head. "I could not have done it without you. You saved me more than once." Arya's eyes softened. "We saved each other. That is what trust and teamwork mean. You have proven yourself. Humans can indeed fight for more than themselves." "You are a worthy ally, Ethan Parker." Ethan felt pride and relief. He had come from a world where humans often struggled to survive, where many feared aliens. Here on this strange planet, he had learned that humans could be brave, intelligent, and honorable. He had shown that courage and action could earn respect, even from a different species. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the city, Arya led him to a quiet terrace. The city lay below, calm now after the storm of battle. "Rest now," she said. "Tomorrow we will assess the damage and begin learning again. Today you have earned the right to relax." Ethan sat down, exhausted but happy. He looked at Arya, her silver hair glowing in the sunlight. "Thank you," he said softly, "for trusting me, for guiding me." "I will never forget today," Arya smiled faintly. "You have earned my trust. That is more than most humans can hope for. But remember, courage and intelligence are only part of what makes a person worthy. Respect for life, compassion, and loyalty matter as well." "You have shown all of these?" Ethan nodded. He thought about the creatures in the forest, the soldiers fighting bravely, and the child he had saved. He understood now that being a hero was not just about fighting. It was about protecting others, making smart choices, and acting with honor. That night, Ethan and Arya walked through the quiet streets of the city. The citizens cheered softly as they passed, grateful for their safety. Ethan felt a deep connection to this world and its people. He had faced danger, learned from it, and grown stronger. Arya stopped and looked at him. "You have done well, Ethan, but our journey is not over. There are more challenges ahead. You must continue learning, continue acting with courage, and continue proving that humans can be trusted allies." Ethan nodded. "I understand. I will not fail you or your people." Arya smiled faintly. "I know you will not. That is why you are here and why you will succeed." As they returned to the cave, Ethan felt a sense of peace. The city was safe, the invaders were gone, and he had proven himself. Yet he knew that the Valyri world was still full of unknown dangers and challenges. He would need to continue learning, continue fighting, and continue earning trust. But for now, he allowed himself a moment of rest. He had survived a battle that few humans could have faced, and he had done so with courage, intelligence, and respect. He had begun to show that humans were capable of greatness. As he drifted off to sleep, Ethan Parker thought of the coming days. More tests, more challenges, and more chances to grow. But he also thought of Princess Arya. She had saved him, guided him, and trusted him. And he knew that together they could face whatever this strange, beautiful world threw at them. Ethan woke to a calm morning. The city was quiet, a peaceful contrast to the chaos of the previous day. The red alarm lights were gone, and the citizens moved through the streets with careful smiles, tending to repairs and checking on one another. Though the battle had ended, the damage reminded everyone how close danger had come. Princess Arya was waiting for him outside the cave. Her silver hair caught the morning light and her glowing eyes were bright with determination. "Today, we assess the damage," she said. "We also honor those who fought bravely. You have earned a place among them, human." Ethan felt a surge of pride, but also humility. He had acted out of instinct, training, and courage, yet he knew that many Velarri had risked their lives beside him. "I am honored," he said, "but I only did what anyone would do to protect others." Arya studied him for a moment. "Perhaps. But not everyone acts with wisdom or respect for life while protecting others. You showed both. That is why you are special." They walked through the city streets together. The citizens paused to watch them pass, some nodding, some bowing slightly in respect. The Velarri soldiers stood straighter as Ethan moved beside their princess. He could feel their approval, and it warmed him. For the first time on an alien world, he felt truly accepted. The first stop was the city square, where the Council of Elders had gathered. Arya led Ethan to the center of the square, and the elders watched silently. One elder older than the others stepped forward. "Ethan Parker," he said, "yesterday you faced dangers that few could survive. You guided our soldiers, protected the weak, and acted with courage and wisdom. Today we recognize your deeds." Ethan felt a rush of gratitude. "Thank you," he said quietly. "It was my honor to help your people." Another elder raised a hand, speaking to the crowd. "Humans are often unknown to us. Many fear them, and some have brought harm to others in the past. But this human has shown that courage, intelligence, and respect for life exist in your species. Let this be a lesson to all." The citizens cheered softly, and Ethan felt his chest swell. He had not come to this planet to prove himself, yet now he realized that humans could earn respect even among aliens who had never seen them before. Arya turned to him. "Your actions yesterday saved lives, human. But your journey is not over. There are still challenges ahead, and your role here is only beginning." Ethan nodded. "I understand. I want to learn, to help, and to continue earning the trust of your people." Arya's eyes softened. "You have done more than that already. You have shown what humanity can achieve. Remember this feeling. Remember that courage and respect matter as much as strength." After the council's recognition, Arya led Ethan through the city to the training grounds. Soldiers were repairing structures, testing their weapons, and recovering from exhaustion. Ethan walked among them, observing how they moved, learning more about the discipline and precision that had allowed them to defeat the invaders. A young soldier approached him, eyes wide. "You fought beside us," the soldier said. "You helped protect the city and the people. How did you do it?" Ethan smiled. "I did what I could, and I followed the guidance of someone who knew what to do." He gestured to Arya. "She taught me everything I needed to survive." The soldier nodded, inspired. "Then humans can be trusted," he said. "Thank you." Ethan felt a sense of pride mixed with responsibility. Humans were capable of greatness, yes, but they had to prove it with actions. This world had tested him, and he had passed. Arya led him to a quiet terrace overlooking the city. The twin suns reflected off the crystals, painting the streets in shades of gold and violet. "You have earned rest," she said. "But there is one more thing I must show you. Follow me." They walked to the edge of the cliffs, where a hidden path led to a small platform high above the city. From there, Ethan could see the forests, the cliffs, and the plains beyond. The view was breathtaking. "This is our world," Arya said. "From here you can see why we protect it. Every part of this land, every living creature matters. We fight for more than ourselves." Ethan nodded. "I understand, and I want to help. I want to protect life too, wherever I go." Arya smiled faintly. "Then you are beginning to understand the way of the Velarri. Courage and action are important, but so is wisdom and care. That is the way to truly be strong." They watched the sunset together, the sky glowing in colors Ethan had never seen. For a moment the world seemed peaceful, as if the battle and danger were far away. Ethan felt a calm he had never known, standing beside the princess who had saved him and taught him so much. "Ethan," Arya said softly, turning to him, "you have proven yourself in ways few humans could. You fought bravely, guided our soldiers, and protected the innocent. I am proud to know you." Ethan's heart beat fast. "Thank you, Arya. I am honored to know you as well. You have shown me courage, wisdom, and kindness. I will never forget this." Arya reached out and placed her hand gently on his arm. The warmth of her touch made his chest tighten. "Humans and Velari are different," she said. "But today we have shown that we can stand together. You are a symbol of what your people can achieve." Ethan felt a deep sense of connection. He realized that this was more than respect or trust. It was a bond formed through shared danger, shared learning, and shared courage. He had come to this world as an outsider, but now he felt like he belonged. As the night fell, Arya led him back to the cave. The city glowed softly in the distance, peaceful and alive. Ethan lay down on the soft bedding, thinking of the day's events. He had faced invaders, guided soldiers, and earned the respect of an alien civilization. Yet the most important thing was the bond he had formed with Arya, a connection built on trust, courage, and understanding. The next morning, Ethan and Arya walked through the city together again. Citizens greeted them warmly, and soldiers saluted him with respect. He felt proud to represent humanity in this world, but he also felt humble. So much remained to be learned. Arya led him to the learning hall, where panels displayed information about the planet, its creatures, and the history of the Velari. "You will continue your studies here," she said. "You have proven that humans can be worthy allies. But knowledge is endless, and understanding takes time. You will learn and you will teach in return." Ethan spent the day exploring the halls, asking questions, and observing the Velari's methods. He realized that humans could contribute more than bravery. They could share ideas, think creatively, and work with other species to solve problems. The Velari had knowledge and precision, but humans had flexibility and determination. Together, they could achieve more than either could alone. By evening, Ethan returned to the terrace with Arya. The city glowed beneath them, calm and safe. "You have done well, Ethan," she said. "The Council recognizes your courage, and I recognize your heart. Humans can be more than what some believe. You have shown that today." Ethan smiled. "I have learned from the best teacher I could hope for. You taught me more than I imagined." Arya's eyes softened, and she removed her helmet fully, letting her hair flow in the gentle evening wind. "And you have shown that humans can rise to greatness. I am glad our paths crossed, Ethan Parker. You have given hope not only to your species, but to ours as well." Ethan felt a warmth in his chest. He had come to this world as a stranger, but now he had a purpose. He had proven that humans could be brave, intelligent, and honorable, and he had formed a bond with someone extraordinary, someone who had changed his life forever. As they watched the stars appear in the alien sky, Ethan whispered, "Gorgeous." Arya turned to him, eyes sparkling. "Yes, the world is beautiful, and some bonds are more precious than even the most stunning views." Ethan smiled. He knew that his journey was only beginning. There would be more challenges, more opportunities, and more moments to prove himself. But for now, he felt pride, hope, and connection. He had faced danger, learned, and grown stronger. Together, he and Arya stood on the terrace, looking at the city, the forests, and the horizon beyond. Humans and Velari, two very different species, had found trust, respect, and friendship. And in that bond, Ethan Parker realized something powerful. Humanity had the courage to stand among the stars and the heart to make a difference. The twin suns set behind the cliffs, painting the sky in colors no human name could describe. Ethan felt a sense of completion and purpose. He had survived, he had learned, and he had proven that humans could rise to greatness. And as he looked at Arya, he knew that some connections, born from courage, trust, and respect, could last far longer than any battle or challenge. They could last a lifetime. Ethan Parker had arrived as an explorer. Now he had become a hero, a friend, and a symbol of what humanity could achieve.